It's your boy, Coach MUEL. I'm official like a referee with a whistle. I'm coaching you on the rules of your game, and I'm showing you how to win in them. Today, we got a special presentation where you guys will get to learn more about me and get to know how to overcome setbacks. And the reason why I'm qualified to teach you how to overcome setbacks is because throughout my life and throughout my journey, I have personally faced many setbacks and maybe more than you could ever imagine, right? And a lot of us have different setbacks that we will face, but the way in which we will learn and the way in which we will grow from those setbacks is by going on different journeys. And these are the 4 journeys that I went on that taught me so much about myself and taught me how to continue to overcome setbacks and then actually seek out ways which I can fail or opportunities to fail and experience setbacks so I can grow. So the first way and the first setback that I experienced going through my collegiate journey, graduating from a school down in North Carolina, I started going to college, and I started college in Philadelphia at Drexel University. And at Drexel, I was a bio major, and I faced many setbacks as a bio major. Because 1, I was not prepared for college. 2, I was thrust into a whole new world, having to take care of myself, having to live with roommates, having to understand the dynamics of going to class and being responsible and also maintaining your own grades, right? There's no teachers that are going to stay on top of you. There's no parents at home. There's no mom, no dad telling you to do your work. You have ultimate freedom. And I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to that freedom. And I was too, because I was down in Philadelphia for a summer prior to going to school. So I already felt like I was the man. I was down there knowing all the ins and outs, knowing what's the good Wawa, knowing what stores was, good and which wasn't. And so that prior experience led me to focus even less on my studies because I was in a mindset of summer and I wasn't focused on what I need to be focused on, which was that bio homework, that chemistry homework, and learning how to be a man and be out on my own. And this was the very first setback that I faced, but I was able to overcome that. And how I overcame that was through basketball. I transferred to a school down, or actually across, actually up in Rhode Island, Johnson Wales University, where I got my first opportunity to play college basketball. And throughout that experience playing college basketball, I was able to overcome the setback of not making it originally, because one of my main goals, and I'm sure a lot of your guys' goals, is to play a collegiate sport. So I overcame that, but now that I was in the position to be able to play, it came with a whole nother set of things that I wasn't prepared for. And one of those things that I wasn't prepared for was what was to come after graduation. Now, I didn't end up graduating from Johnson & Wales. I actually transferred to a school down in North Carolina to continue my basketball career because you know what? I felt like I deserved more playing time and I was going to overcome that setback and find a way. So I transferred down to a school in North Carolina and I found more playing time, but I also found myself in a whole new world, a whole new environment. And in this environment, I had to learn a whole new set of rules, right? This wasn't Rhode Island. It wasn't cold down there. It was warm year round. There was different people, different ways of speaking, different ways of interacting. And on top of that, I still had to manage my own responsibilities. And when I transferred down to a school in North Carolina, I actually had an apartment. And I was down there by myself again. So not only did I have to maintain this apartment and maintain my grades, which I was fairly good at by that time. I had a couple of years of college under my belt. I did my homework. I did what I need to do. But I had all these new responsibilities. And with those responsibilities came impending graduation. And now I know you guys are either about to graduate high school, entering college, or probably in your sophomore or junior year of college. And I know you're getting close to graduation, and I had that same feeling that you're feeling right now. I was getting close to graduation. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to go, what I was even good at. So I had to overcome that, and I quit basketball. I quit basketball and I decided to start working on what was next. And this is an important thing that you guys need to take away from this presentation is think ahead. To overcome setbacks, you must know what you are going to expect from the potential of trying something new, the potential of going out and starting something, the potential of the new experience. I don't want you guys to think of the downside of these things, but I want you guys to be aware of what could come and prepare in advance, not from an anxious standpoint, but from a standpoint that you are going to be ready to face that. And it's not a fear thing. It's a understanding and developing a foundation of strong values that you can use to overcome anything. And this is the experience that I amassed. I started doing internships. I had to get into it, and graduation was coming fast. So after I put down basketball, I started sprinting. I was behind. And this is where I ended up. After all that internships, after all those things I did with my school, with going around and finding new internship programs in these different spaces, I ended up not even wanting to do that. And I ended up calling myself an entrepreneur. And when I say calling myself an entrepreneur, I want to put that in quotes, even though I'm holding this mic here, because I was not an entrepreneur at all whatsoever. And I was just calling myself that. I didn't know that at the time. I'm sure you probably call yourself a lot of things that you don't truly live by because you don't know the rules. And that's why I'm here. But as I entered this entrepreneurship, successful space, I did it from a place of wanting money and not truly wanting to become the entrepreneur that I needed to become to be successful. And the reason why this is important in overcoming setbacks is because the brand not only taught me about myself and overcoming setbacks for myself, but it also allowed me to be able to teach you guys how to do it through the tough experiences in the financial, the mental, the physical, the emotional, and spiritual setbacks that I face, particularly with the brand. Going out to the mall, as you guys see here, I was everywhere. So I was at the gym, I was at the mall, I was in the weight room, I was doing photography, I was doing basketball edits, whatever you feel me, whatever you needed, I got it. I got a way, and I'm gonna serve you. And I just wanted some money, right? And a lot of you guys are at that place. I have a video for you guys coming up, how to get to the bag and how to get to your bag. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys subscribe. But I was doing this from such a limited capacity. I didn't even know what the real meaning of entrepreneurship is. And it is not exactly what you think. It is way higher and way above. But once I started to overcome and once I started to face these setbacks, now I was put in position to learn. And that is when I started to be able to take advantage of the learning and take advantage of the resources and take advantage of the information. Once I really started to understand what it meant, what a setback even was, and how I could change my perspective when looking at setbacks and turning those things into advantages, not allowing it to hold me back from my goal, but finding a way to connect it to something that can get me closer, right? So for example, with the brand, let's say we go into the bathroom and I was about to talk to you, but you went up to the stall, right? And instead of allowing that to be a setback, you know what I would do? I would just go right next to you and I would just whip it out and just start peeing, and I look over to you and I just start telling you about my brand. I'd be like, yo, bro, what's up, bro? How you doing today? Yeah, so I just started this clothing brand 120 days ago after I quit my corporate job, basically pursuing my passion of becoming an entrepreneur. And they'd be like, hold on, bro. I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. I go back to peeing. They walk up to the sink. I come to the sink. I say, yeah, so like I was telling you, bro, like, I really believe that this brand is something special and it can give you a lot of opportunities. And, they like, oh yeah, they go to the dryer. I'm right there with them. Look, so like I was saying, bro, yeah, it's really important for me to come out here and talk to people about my message. And what do you think about this t-shirt? And I would do that over and over and over again. And overcoming those setbacks, overcoming those objections taught me a life skill, which is being a tyrant, and being a tyrant for the right things. I wasn't being a tyrant for the money, right? I wasn't being a tyrant for the people. I wasn't being a tyrant for things that actually added value towards your goals and added value towards your life and the things that you want to accomplish, which is what I was selling people. I was selling people this experience that I was going to come and talk to them and give them resources, information, show them new things, and actually give them the information that I wanted to and that I'm giving you guys right now. But this is what I do now. I'm still a tyrant. But the work that I do now, it's actually adding value towards your goals and not just mine of making money. But I still don't quit. I still don't settle. I still work hard every single day towards my goals, and I overcome setbacks every single day, like the beginning of this stream. And you can too. I'm here to tell you, you can overcome any setback. The world is full of willing people, some willing to work, the rest are willing to let them. Now you have to decide right now. Are you one of the people who are going to watch me accomplish my goal, or are you going to accomplish the goal for yourself? What I just did in this whole presentation was former ways of which I identified with overcoming setbacks, and which I identified as parts of me. So I was formerly an entrepreneur. I was formerly a college graduate. I was formerly someone who was a tyrant. I was formerly someone who went out and you know the slide. I don't got to tell you, I was formerly all those things. And I was also formerly the things that you see on this slide, right? And the reason why I say formerly is because I changed how I viewed those specific identifying characteristics, the college graduate, the being this, the being that. And I use those key moments and those key abilities and those key characteristics and those setbacks from each of those moments, those lower level identifiable characteristics, the actions that I believed made me that thing, right? The wins and the losses. I used all of that as fuel to go out and find what was truly for me. Now, a lot of you guys, and that may go over a lot of you guys' head, so let me break that down just a little bit more. Formerly, as a college graduate, I defined myself through the actions that made me a college graduate. So I went to class for 4 years. I studied and did my homework. This is wins and losses. I studied and did my homework. I got my presentation grades. I showed up, I paid the fees, and those actions, me getting the diploma, that made me a college graduate, right? And now don't get me wrong, that is one way in which that's one thing that I have accomplished, but it's not how I identify anymore, because the college graduate identifiable characteristic, being a college graduate itself, truly does nothing for me, right? Yes, it allows me to have new experience, but the thing itself, without any additional action, it really isn't useful. Now, because I'm using my degree, now it is useful, but it may not be useful for you. You may not need college to be successful. You may not need college to take action after. And this is what I want you guys to start thinking. I want you to start thinking about the actions that lead up to you identifying with something, and if that something, that identifiable characteristic, pushes you closer to your goal or further from your goal. And let me just get to you real quick. So a lot of us are in these loops, and if you saw on the last slide, it is a big loop that is surrounding all these identifiable characteristics. And down here below, you see this money and these total sales for my brand is one way in which I identified being an entrepreneur, right? I thought entrepreneurship was getting money by any means possible from whatever source you possibly can. Photography, videography, clothing brand, hounding people, being a tyrant. I thought that's what was entrepreneurship, right? And I'm sure you think the same. Entrepreneurship is something completely different. Entrepreneurships don't even do the low level of work. All they do is sit at the top of the chain and tell people what to do. Without the information, without the guidance, and I paid a lot of money to even learn that, to learn the book recommendation where I can learn that, I would still be in a position doing technical work, thinking I'm an entrepreneur and not truly growing and being able to exit a business and being able to teach you how to exit a business, teach you how to build it from the ground up, and then reap the benefits of all the hard work that you put in, right? So I was identifying entrepreneurship with the action of making money. And because you do some of these actions, you inevitably attach it to something, because that's just what human beings do. Human beings attach names to actions, right? College graduate, scholar, entrepreneur, tyrant, this, basketball player, athlete. And I don't want you guys to not pick specific things to identify with, but I want you to start asking yourself, is that identifiable characteristic something that pushes you towards your goal, or is it something that holds you back? This can go positive and negative. You can either say, I am an entrepreneur, and truly take action from what that really means, not what it fake means, and have a successful entrepreneurship journey. Or you could say, I'm a bum, right? And it's all about what you say. And it's all about having the correct information. Now, if you want to be a bum, I can teach you how to be the best bum ever, because what we're going to do is we're going to learn what it means to be a bum. We're going to learn the best bums in the world, because why would we be a half-ass bum? We're going to learn what the bums drink. We're going to learn what the bums smoke, what kind of tents they have, the specific holes that they wear in their socks, the particles of dust that they collect, and every single part of what that means, so you could be the best possible version of that bum. Same goes for the positive. If you want to be a corporate CEO, we're going to learn what that truly means from some of the best people who have done it. But we don't start there. We start with first unidentifying with characteristics that don't serve us. And we are stuck here, and I was stuck here because I was just like, yeah, college graduate, entrepreneur, tyrant, I'm making money, I'm making sales, I'm hounding you at the urinal, I'm winning right now, right? No, I was not winning. You are not winning, because you don't know truly what it means to embody what you think you are, and you're doing it half-ass. I'm telling you, I was too. And so how you're gonna break this cycle of identifying with yourself with these negative characteristics and start to replace it with characteristics that actually push you towards your goal is by going and using the 5 W's self-discovery model. And here you see this spinning wheel. It's gonna spin, and it's never gonna stop spinning, no matter what you do and no matter what you identify with. Personally, I'd rather spin around something that helps me grow towards my goals, and not around something that is spinning around negativity. For example, you may know someone in your life who all they do is smoke weed every single day. All they do is smoke weed. Their whole life and their whole personality revolves around weed. They work for weed. They make friends that smoke weed, and they just surround themselves entirely with weed. Is this person Wiz Khalifa? Or is this person your high school friend who still isn't accomplishing their goals, right? Does weed help them get to somewhere where they've always wanted, a dream, a goal, becoming a better person, shining a light on the world, or accomplishing something bigger than them? Or does it hold them down back at their hometown and doesn't allow them to do anything, right? And this person could be you. This person could be me. But I rather surround the things and the things that I identify with towards something that is bigger than me and bigger than what the not the status quo, but bigger than what you typically have identified with, or what you typically see as success, right? Because a lot of us right now are starting to think about what our definitions of success were, especially in the age range that I'm speaking to, because that is a major pressure in your life. I dealt with it. Sooner or later, you're going to get to a place where you have to start thinking of new ways in which you're going to identify, unless you always stay the same. If you stay in your hometown, you're the same person from high school, same person from middle school, don't even watch this right now. Click off the video if you're not looking to grow. All right? If you're not looking to grow and change and become something bigger than you've ever been, or become successful, or even redefine your success, you don't have to think of success like I think of success. Success can mean something completely different from you, right? I see success as helping others. You may see success as making $1 million, right? But this is where it starts to get tricky, right? Because when we start to redefine our success, we start to see how we are trained. And throughout learning how we are trained, we're going to see all of our traumas, all of our experience, all of the negative things that have ever happened to us, things that we may even have forgot about. And we're going to use why to get down to the root of those things that we're holding on to, that may allow us to chase goals that don't really align with you, or align with helping the world, right? Unless you're going to make $1 million to be able to impact lives, why do you want to make that money? We want to find out the reason. We may find out that growing up, you were living in an impoverished community, right? We may find out that growing up, you didn't have the shoes, you had holes in your socks, and now you're doing it out of a place of lack. And a lot of people, this is very debatable, they may say, I don't believe in lack, right? And that's the place that we're headed. But right now, we have to face reality, and we have to accept things for what they truly are. We have to see the lack, and we have to learn how to overcome that by becoming people who can. And the way in which we become people who can is by valuing things that the people that we want to become value. For example, and I hope you don't want to be Bezos, but if you want to be Bezos, you need to value hard work, right? Just the simple things, not the grand things that he may embody, or the grand characteristics, but just the simple things that allow him to be successful every single day. Consistency, discipline, business knowledge, right? And that all just comes from learning and growing. But he has a base value system and a belief that he's going to be successful. And if you want to be him, that's who we'll look into. But honestly, there's way better examples, and there's more people that are reachable to you right now that you can be like and learn values from them. And so once we start breaking it down to the root and understanding what you truly value now based on the last slide, and what you need to value to become and be successful like someone you want to be successful as, like, remember, you don't want to be this person, you want to be like them and embody some of the characteristics that have made them successful in what you want to do, career-wise or not. We start to see the ways in which we lack in each individual category of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And the reason why we use this is because this has been a well-known psychological chart, a way of evaluating ourselves, a way of seeing what we need, why we need it, what we lack, why we lack it, and it all boils down to the things that make us human beings. And at the end of the day, we are all monkeys, guys. You have to remember that there is an innate nature that we have yet to evolve past, and we all need the basics, right? So a lot of you guys are still at the bottom of the pyramid trying to overcome the everyday struggles of life. And this is where we start to value things that allow us to advance up, right? There's different values that you need to have for each individual level of the hierarchy of needs. Because right now, a lot of us are ungrateful and we don't realize how many people in the world don't even, who are below the triangle, right? They are being bombed, they are being killed, they don't have clean water, they don't have food, they don't have shelter, they don't have anything that you have, and they will probably chop your head off for what you have right now. I'm dead sure they will take you out for what you got. And we need to value at that bottom level. If we're struggling every day, not being able to reach our goals, we need to start remembering how good we have it based off of the little things we have. And just one value that you should automatically have that'll make your life better is gratefulness. And I promise you, if you're watching this video, you are probably not at the bottom. You're probably either the orange and the dark orange safety or up, right? Because there's no reason for you to have an iPhone right now, and I know this is probably not the case, but there's no reason for you to have an iPhone or be watching a YouTube video and not having water, right? Something is off right there. So if you're watching this video, most likely than not, unless you're at the library, and I commend you for going out and seeking out the information that you need to be successful and advance up, because it's not so much a ladder, or it's not so much a journey to the top of the triangle, but at certain points of our lives, this also is a spinning wheel. And throughout our lives, there's times where we will be at the bottom, and there's times that we will be able to accomplish things and be at the self-actualization, but it transforms. And that's the reason for the arrow. We go up and down the slider, and that's just life. I know you know someone who was shining one day, and then the next day they're out on the streets or hooked on drugs, right? Who was hooked on drugs and then was able to do the opposite, reach the highest heights. And the reason why is because they changed what they identified themselves as. They were no longer the drug addict. They were a hard worker. They were willing to learn. They were willing to go out and try new things and gain exposure and work their way up. And same for the person who was at the top who fell to the bottom. They might have had those values, but the thing about values and the thing about identifying yourself with certain actions is, if you don't truly embody them, you may be able to fake it for so long, but eventually those values, if they're not rooted in something and rooted in strength and rooted in models that show you early on where you lack, you may reach the top and then fall all the way down because you built your foundation on quicksand and not on rock. You built your foundation on lack. You lacked confidence. You lacked money growing up, so you worked so hard to get it just because of that lack. And now you get it and you don't know how to keep it, or you don't know how to manage it, and you're just operating off that lack, and you run yourself rampant, right? You run yourself right off the cliff and right back down to where you started, because you weren't able to handle it and maintain it, because you did not value it and you were operating from the wrong place. And going back to the model before, if we look at what I am accomplishing now, which is being a Twitch streamer, I'm live Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 9:30, 10 p.m.-ish, working through these models with you guys, showing you that it is possible to accomplish your goals if you build on strong foundation. Now, previously, and I know a lot of you guys are too, I was a social media addict, and that's a whole nother video. We'll talk about that after. Subscribe so you can see the video of how I overcame being a social media addict. But as I worked through my daily life, I saw myself for who I truly was. I started to undistract myself. I was able to find a new goal. And that goal of being a Twitch streamer, you know, it sounds cool, but what does that actually do for me? What does that do for my cause, and why do I want to be a Twitch streamer? Well, I had to sit down and ask myself, and I had to first become someone who could come on here confidently, mess up and all, imperfect and all, and still be able to deliver the message and deliver what I wanted to say to the people and give you guys the information, the resources, and the knowledge, also the connections for you to be successful. So I found out that my cause was to give love to you guys and affect people on a world scale. I want to be able to give you all the resources you need, every single person I possibly can, the whole entire world, so that way you guys know where you stand, what you currently identify with, and how you can begin to do anything. But you have to be willing to put the work in, and I sat down and I found out, well, I want to be a Twitch streamer because I like streaming and I like getting my voice heard and I like showing people how talented I am, right? And sometimes it may boil down to a lack, but it's all about how you look at that lack. And what it boiled down to for me was I wasn't getting heard enough. People weren't allowing me to speak for myself. People were trying to control me and control my thoughts, control my emotions, control my actions, right? So what's the best way to overcome that? And for me, it is Twitch streaming and being on live stream and being able to show how truly talented I am for myself. No script, no this, no that, and show you guys the real and the behind the scenes. And when I saw that lack, then I was able to change it and become someone who was confident enough to do it, right? We have to be confident enough to do it. And what I need you guys to do right now is take this quiz below. I need you to go to the link, and the link's going to be down in the description, and take this quiz. This quiz is going to help you tremendously understand where you are strong at and where you are weak at. It's going to help you determine your cause. We all must have a cause, and we all must do it from, at least in my opinion, you can do it from any one of these, because it will give you more of an understanding of happiness, right? And it'll give you more of an understanding of what it means to live a well-balanced life, right? At the end of the day, that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to fulfill our goals, to keep ourselves healthy and give us that sense of happiness. That's what many of us are pursuing at the end of the day, and that's what it all boils down to. But we do it in different ways. And before, when I was with the brand, I was preaching you guys purpose. And purpose is not the only way that you can be happy and be well. There's many other ways. And now that I have this understanding, I need you guys to take this quiz, because I need to see where you're strong at and I need to see where you're weak at. We can either use your strengths or your weaknesses. My personal opinion, I'm always going to go weaknesses, because I'm looking for the hard things. I'm looking for the challenges. And the more and more I work on those weaknesses, the stronger I will be with my strengths. Funny enough, working on any of these will help you become well and help you reach your goal. It's all about what you value. For me, my engagement is really high, because I love things where I feel like I'm in flow, where I'm feeling like things are effortless and I'm just doing it without even trying. Like speaking right now, doing this presentation. I'm loving this. I'm having fun. I'm overjoyed, and I'm helping you, and I'm Twitch streaming. I'm accomplishing so many different goals. And because I know what my values are, I'm able to do it more effectively, and I'm able to do it the right way. Now, there's a right and wrong way to do it. And before, I didn't think so, right? But with a goal, and we're going to have a goal that is objective and not subjective, we're going to pick something that has a metric or has something that can be accomplished as a tracker system, right? But that's not what a cause is. A cause is something that we pursue, and we pursue it with a sense of perfection, even though we know we may never accomplish it, right? We may want to have world domination and be the best basketball player in the world, and that may be our ultimate goal, right? But that is not our cause. Our cause is why we do it, and our cause is what fuels us to continue to do it, no matter the goal, no matter the time of day, no matter the time of night. We want to continue to learn, and we want to continue to grow, And that cause is going to allow us to do that. For example, in my personal opinion, or in my personal example, my cause is to spread love to you through these coaching sessions, and to show you through my own personal experience, through the information that I put together for this presentation, through the information, the research that I've done, through those 4 ways in that journey that I overcame, and all the setbacks that I've taken on, and I put it into play, put it into my life, put it into my goals. I want to use that to help others, right? And the goal behind that is to have these one-on-one sessions. And so I want 100 one-on-one sessions, and we're doing it for $1 per session. There's 5 sessions. We're going to work through the 5 W's. And in each of these sessions, you will be able to, 1, see yourself for who you truly are. You're going to know why you see yourself for who you truly are. You're going to know why you identify with those things. And you're going to learn why you should or shouldn't continue to identify with those characteristics. You're also going to learn your cause. You're going to learn why you want to do it, and what you're striving for, and what you should continue to strive for no matter what the goal is. You're also going to learn that goal. That's just a side effect of going on this journey. You're going to be able to transform using others' journeys, other people that you want to be like. If you want to be the next pop star, we're going to learn from the pop star of your dreams, the pop star of your choice, and we're also going to make sure we take the best possible characteristics that make that pop star successful to you. We're also going to learn the newest version of success, not the old version, not the old way you thought. After we work through all these steps, you are now going to have a new version of success that aligns with your goal. If you want to be the GOAT and you want to be the best basketball player in the world, you should not be defining success as scoring 10 points in a game. And that starts to get tricky, because that's where goals start to come in, but you should define it around what you want to accomplish, right? And just because you don't accomplish it doesn't mean you're wrong. And that's the 5th step right there. We're going to learn where we're going, how fast or how close we are to that, and how we can begin to redefine that success to match and align with our goals, and learn what we should value to make that all happen. It all boils down to values, and it all boils down to what you need to overcome right now, today, to be successful. You must overcome the setbacks and the fear of not taking action and not seeking out the information from yourself. You must overcome the setback of not wanting to ask for help and join communities and join people and be able to talk with others about what is important to you. And you must overcome defining yourself by the things that you define yourself as right now, because how far and how close are you towards your goal with what you define as yourself right now, what you define with, and what you attribute to your characteristics, right? And how has that worked for you in the past up until right now? So I need you guys to do this for yourself. Don't do it for me. Take action and schedule your one-on-one so you can do it for you, and you can actually become the version of yourself that is able to succeed no matter what. So thank yourself today. This is the very first presentation, a little bit of a long one, but thank yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next one. It's your boy, Coach MUEL. I'm official like a referee with a whistle. I'm coaching you on the rules of your game, and I'm showing you how to win at it. See you guys in the next one.